Looking back on the way things used to be, it was hard, that ain't no mystery. But it's the past, that's why he's history. I can be your future, can't you see? Whoa, I know that you're scared, I know that it's hard. I know what he did is what left you so scarred. Just know that I'm here, no, I'm never far. Tell me what you need, so you don't have to run away, run away, run away. No, you don't have to run away, run away, run away. You'll never have to run from me. While you run, I chase you back in time, yeah. Turn around and maybe you will find what you're searching for, girl, don't be blind. I just want you to be mine. I know that you're scared, I know that it's hard. I know what he did is what left you so scarred. Just know that I'm here, no, I'm never far. Tell me what you need, so you don't have to run away, run away, run away.
Me and Wanye are actually still friends to this day. He's actually one of the reasons why I decided to leave Pretty Ricky and go solo, because there were a lot of things going on in the group, on tour, off tour, as far as being true to myself, and which is one of the reasons I always wanted to be a solo artist, is because when you're in a group, you have to be what the group is, especially if the group existed before you, and you come in later. You have to be what they are, and really what Pretty Ricky was not, you know, what I want to represent. And when I was talking to Wanye about these different things, I called him, and he was actually giving his sons a bath, and I was like, "Oh man, I'll call you back." He's like, "No, I'm good, man. You know, I do this all the time. What's good?" And I'm just telling him, like, you know, that I'm having some issues with the group, you know, because, you know, the first thing when I joined the group, the first thing they did was change my name from Ambition to Foreplay, which was just crazy to me, because for one reason, I felt Ambition was a great name. I always used that. It's tattooed on my chest, and it's something that I believed in. It's something that is not just a name, but it's something that, you know, is me, and that's how I do things. I go for them, and I strive to do better all the time. I work hard, and I stay focused, and that's what ambition is. And when people look at me and they see how hard I work, they see that my name fits me. So when they said they wanted to change my name to Foreplay, I think it was about a 2-week argument of going back and forth and arguing, like literally arguing about, no, I'm not changing my name to Foreplay. How am I supposed to, a fan, like, come up to me, a little kid, like, come up to me like, "Mommy, I want to get an autograph from Foreplay." And she's like, "Hell no, you ain't going over there. You're not getting nobody from, you ain't listening to no Foreplay. Get out of here." Like, how can you have kid fans, or how can you inspire kids or young adults, or go to a school and talk, and the first thing you gotta say, "Hey, my name is Foreplay," you know, like, it was just ridiculous to me. So it was one of the big things, but eventually it came down to, hey, you either change your name or you're going back home. And I was like, all right, well, you know what I mean? I guess I ain't got no choice. I ain't going home. So the second thing, they actually tried to convince me to get cornrows, finger waves. Like, I don't even know if you know what finger waves are, but it's like something that old pimps used to wear, like back in the day, or Missy Elliott. So if you go look up an old Missy Elliott video, that hairstyle was real, like, I don't know, like real big giant waves. Like, it's a female hairstyle, but old pimps used to wear it, and I was just like, you know what, kick me out. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. And another thing is that they always said you have to wear a hat and glasses at the same time, at all times. Later I found out one of the reasons they wanted to do that is so that they could, if they needed to replace me, they could just throw somebody else in, put a hat and glasses on them, and nobody would know the difference, because people don't really pay attention that much when it's a group. Unless they are diehard fans, nobody really knows the individual members. And that was a way to conceal, you know, my identity. You know, another big thing was I was not allowed to speak during any interviews at all.
iMoveiLive.com, online music magazine. No major labels, just major music.
And they even, you probably saw it, like if you watch any of the interviews, they used to do a gimmick. They'd be like, somebody would ask me a question, and everybody wanted to speak to me because I was the new member and I'm the lead singer. So they'd be like, so Foreplay, what? He'd be like, nah, he don't talk, he just sing. We found him in the bushes. He's a beast. He's an animal. Hey, and he'd be like, hey, Foreplay, sing. And I would just sing some knocking blues. They would just go, and I'd be like, late night, I thought to bed, and when we made good love, and they'd be like, all right, that's enough, you good. And then that was the gimmick, to not get anybody to ask me any questions. And if you look, I was in we were in an issue of Vibe. They did a big article on us, and they actually, the interviewer caught on to it, and she actually said some pretty nasty things about the group. And the only good thing she said was about me, but it was about the fact that she caught on to the fact that they were not letting me speak, and it was for a reason. Because the next day when I saw her in Atlantic Records, we were having a conversation, and it was, you know, great. But when she started interviewing me, it was like a kind of an informal interview. Once I caught on to that, I was like, you gotta ask Blue, you know what I mean? Because, you know, they don't want me speaking. You know what I mean? I didn't say that, but she caught on to it, like I wasn't allowed to do an interview. So that was one of the big things. So I wasn't allowed to represent Pittsburgh. I wasn't allowed to say where I was from, or what I've done, or that my name was Ambition, or who I represent. I wasn't allowed to do any of that things, and that was one of the big things that hurt me as a person and as an artist, because it's important for me to rep where I'm from, especially Pittsburgh, where there's not a lot of artists that came from here. At this time, when I was in Pretty Ricky, Wiz Khalifa was still on his way up. I think he was signed to Warner Brothers, and he had a song out. It was called "Just Say Yeah, Just Say Yeah," and I think that was we were actually on the same radio tour, and we were trailing each other, and it was like Wiz Khalifa, he was going on that tour on the radio station. When we would get to the radio station, it was like us and like Rick Ross and somebody, I'm not sure, I think it was Plies. And I would get there and I would see Wiz Khalifa's poster, and I'd be like, yo, Wiz is here. I was like, you know, how's the record doing? And they was like, oh no, it's doing really good. So that made me, you know, happy to know somebody else from the city was doing good. After I left the group, I came back home, and I actually, you know, just moved. I have really good friends named Jesse Mater, and he was my roommate right before I joined the group. So as soon as I came home, I just moved right back in with him, and I actually began to write a book. It wasn't about music or anything. It was actually about it was about a vigilante ninja. The book's called The Shinobi Tales of the Night Wind. It's an action fiction book. Right after that, I jumped right back into music. I actually never stopped doing music, but I just took a lot of time to write that book. It took about 6 months. I finished the last chapter in Colorado Springs. My boy Kid Cuba, his parents had a mansion right up in the hills in Colorado Springs. But once I came back to Pittsburgh, another friend of mine, Amy Taylor, with Creative Visions out in Washington, PA. She called me and it was like, I have an artist that's from Pittsburgh and who's really good. His name's Tino Corey, and I think you'd be really good if you work with him, and you know, started developing his show. Started working with Tino, and we hit it off, and we became really good friends. So we started writing music together, and eventually one day it was Christmas, and he called me up. He was like, "Yo, I got an idea for a song, man. You got to come through." So I was like, "Oh, definitely, I'm there." So I went out to his house, and he was like, I got a melody on the computer, on the keyboard. He was like, and I got an idea for the hook. So he starts playing. He's like,
I read your diary and it said,
and then as soon as he stopped right there, he was like, that's all I got. And I was like,
that you weren't in love with me and you're leaving.
And we just kept on going from there. And we eventually wrote the song Diary. And once the song was done, it started off as a slow song, and it was real pretty. And then he was like, you know what, man, I'm changing this. He was like, I'm gonna change this whole thing into a dance song. I'm like, dude, it's slow. How you gonna do it? You're playing piano. He was like, dude, it's easy. I was like, okay. So about an hour later, he comes out with this banging track, and we recorded a demo to it. And he took it out to LA, and he started working with a producer out there. And once we got the mix back, it was crazy. So
I read your diary and it said that you weren't in love with me and you're leaving, and I wish that I didn't see that you fell in love with him. I read your diary.
he's actually signed to a label called 11th Records, and once they heard the song, they were like, yo, we're gonna put this out right now. So we immediately went to radio with the record. We went on another radio tour. We went around the whole country to every single radio station and let them hear the track. And you know, Tino met all the program directors, and it was really big, man. And everybody was really receptive to the track, and it ended up reaching number 30 on the top 40 chart, on the top 40 pop charts on Billboard, which is huge for a new artist. And it also hit number 10 on the top 40 dance charts, which is just crazy. And we were just in awe, because we were just like, we couldn't believe that something that we made in the basement on Christmas just went to that extent, you know. And it was nuts. And you know, we're just real happy. And I actually moved out to LA, and Tino moved out to LA, and we were on the tour, and we were writing new music. I wrote another song for him called Up Against the Wall that came out shortly after that. And it was just a really great time, you know. I was living in LA, I was learning how to surf and doing music, and it was just a really good time in my life. And I really appreciate Tino and his father and 11th Records for giving me that opportunity. And they changed a lot of stuff in my life, because my first experience in music was a really bad one. So being with them and being with people that you could trust and that are your friends and that actually have your best interest at hand, you know, really turned me around and got me back onto my solo career, and made me decide to get into that and change my name back from Foreplay to Ambition. And one of the other people who influenced me to do that was my producer, Van Taylor. And I met him through a friend. I was writing a song for a friend, and she was telling him about me. He was like, "Oh, who wrote that song?" And she was telling him, "Oh, my friend Ambition, da 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 da." And he was like, "Yeah, have him come through." So I came through. We went over the song. We were listening to some stuff, and we were just talking. And he was like, "Look, man," he was like, "you need to just come to the studio and we need to just make some music." He was like, "It don't matter if we don't use it, we don't use it. If we do, then great." He was like, "But you just need to put some music out. Let's do it." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." You know what I mean? So I started coming out there. I heard a couple tracks, and the first track I actually recorded that we did together was "She Won," and it's actually on my Spaceship album. It's the second song on my Spaceship album, and it was just crazy. I mean, we stayed in the studio. We got there at like 7. We stayed in there all night until like 7 in the morning. And 7 in the morning, we finished the song, and I actually made a video, posted it on my YouTube, and you know, people love that song. Like, it was one of the biggest songs off the album, and we literally banged out a mixtape in about a month. It was called A Game, and I released that about a year ago. And as soon as we released that, I filmed a video for She Wanna. It was called She Wanna, the music motion picture, because it was about 12 minutes long. There was about 4 songs in it, and it was like a long storyline. And my boy Alan Lee with Silver Case Productions, he shot the video for me, and he did an amazing job. Are you ready?
Ready. Cut!
I ain't telling you what you need. Hey, I got my swag on that. You know me, I'm on it. You're shorty looking at me, and I know that she want it. Yeah, I didn't mean it, even trying on it, but she don't want to keep it down, but put it down on it. You gotta let her go. She's trying to get me. No disrespect to you, player, but this is how it be. Tonight, but I speak what I can see. You're gonna know the way you're gonna talk to me. And I feel what you're saying, yeah, I feel what you're saying, I feel what you're saying, girl, I feel what you're saying, girl, I don't can't lie. You want me, shawty, the look in your eyes. And I feel what you're saying, yeah, I feel what you're saying, and I love what you're saying, girl, I hear what you're saying to me. Yeah, I know, okay, yeah, I feel what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying, I got it, girl, let me get it, yeah, I know what you're saying, I can hear you while my ears.
Right after that, I started recording new songs, because after the mixtape came out, I decided, I was like, all right, we're gonna do an album. You know, I mean, there's a buzz going around. My name, Ambition, is starting to, people are starting to catch on that I left and changed my name from Foreplay to Ambition, so it's like, all right, I need to put out an album. So I started working on Spaceship. I was doing that with a couple producers, Van Taylor, Mindbender. A lot of the songs were tracks were done by Mark Parker. I got Ivy League Sound on there. there's a lot of creative people. Yes. So the next video we went into was actually Blow It Up, which is club record. My boy DJ Jam premiered it at Barroom, and people went nuts, and he's been playing it ever since. And shot the video with Mindbender Production Group, and they killed it. You know, I mean, we had my boys 2 Fly Crew in there, Mikey Smalls, and Will Williams.
Let's blow it up, oh oh, and I'ma light the match, spark the flame. Girl, I know it might sound insane, but I wanna burn this place to the ground. Baby, let's blow it up.
I've really done a lot in my career, and I've had a lot of people behind me, helping me, and I just like to take the time to thank all of them. I plan on doing a lot more, and those people I know will always be there, regardless of what happens. And it's so important to have that. I can't stress that enough. Like, having those people there is what keeps me going, and makes me want to work harder, because I want to be successful for not just me, but for them as well.
Yeah, I want it all. 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 And I'm talking about the money, the fame, the cars, the clothes already.